Lights!
Camera!
Action!
Alright, if you could just state your name, where you're from, and look into the camera for us.
Ah, okay. So right now, we're rolling. Ah, good. Hello, my name is Stepney, and...
Wait, shouldn't he be looking off to the side? Like at the interviewer? You know, the classic documentary style?
Oh, yes, you're correct. Stepney, just tilt your gaze to the side a little. Just look at me.
This is taking way longer than it should be.
Well, they do say you can't rush art.
That's right.
Production assistants don't get paid enough.
None of us are paid!
You know, you're lucky I'm not thinking too hard about that.
Hello, I'm Stepney, and I work on the Bluebell Railway here on Sodor.
Tell us about the Bluebell Railway.
Well, it's the only standard gauge line that runs through most of the same towns that my littler engine friends here do. Sometimes Edward and Thomas help out with the passenger trains here, but I'm the only engine permanently stationed here. Perhaps not for long, though. They're planning on turning the Bluebell into a heritage railway, and bringing in other preserved engines like me. It'll be such a joy to meet new Bluebell brothers and sisters.
And what do you do on the Bluebell currently?
Well, I do goods deliveries between the towns some days, but my favourite afternoons are when I get to take the tourists out through the countryside. It's beautiful when the bluebells themselves are in bloom, and often I see my friend Rusty at our little station. I just love to smell the air and see the way the trees rustle in the breeze, when it just feels like the world, the rails, and me.
It's all the same boring, airy-fairy schlock. Can we cut the boilerplate and get to the interesting stuff, please?
Boilerplate. That's clever.
People want to hear the actual drama, the adventure, the passion, you know?
Alright, well, Stepney, what are you passionate about?
Well,
How about you tell us about your claim to fame, your daring scrapyard escape? What was that like?
What?
Oh, you know, your exciting adventure to freedom through those dirty mainland back alleyways. How does it feel to be a famous real-life survivor?
Well, I survived. That's certainly something I'm proud of.
Don't you feel angry that you were even put in that situation in the first place?
Well, it's not something I'd like to happen again. For anyone. Really, I'm just grateful my life here on the Bluebell is so magical now. Especially now in the summertime.
But, like, you're thinking about it all on, like, your long runs, right? Like, the wind just letting your mind wander back to all this. Like, don't you just want to get back at everyone who did this to you? You know, finally pay back all those dirty, stinking, good-for-nothing Oilers?
No, actually. The only reason I got out of there alive is because of a diesel. My best friend Rusty I mentioned. I don't trust them all, but it's in the past. And to waste so much energy on something that doesn't define me now would be a hindrance to my current happy and healthy life. I'm not just a survivor. I'm an engine. An endangered species' top priority is still the same of any animals, first and foremost. They don't know they're endangered. And besides, it wasn't the first time I struggled to survive. And the press certainly didn't help at all then. No offence, but where were you then, eh? To spend my life belabouring the possibility of malicious intent only gives anyone who did have it more power. I don't need to dedicate my life to fighting the battles of my past to be happy living in myself now.
Cut! That was brilliant, Phil. Did you get that? Exactly the kind of raw emotion the audience eats up. Thank you, Stepney. Let's pack it up.
My pleasure, and thank you. I must be off. I don't want to miss my chat with Rusty.
Duncan? Oh, Ivo? I wish I could help you out there, but none of us really know how to. I'm just worried what we end up planting in his mind will grow out of even his own control. I don't like gambling with an engine's development, you know?
Well, when we blast, we always got to make sure that we don't blow the bottom to smithereens if the top is going to fall down, and smash us to smithereens afterwards, if that's what you mean.
You get it.
Oh no! Clive, don't tell me that the machine's stuck again. It better be a rock and not a yo-yo then. Oh, phew! You fixed it already? That's a relief. Last time the machine was stuck, I had to strip down to my tighty whities, douse the inner workings in marmalade, and slither through the pipes of the machine like an eel until I could find the source of the problem. Well, I'm sorry you didn't want that mental image, Clive, but that's exactly what happened.
All right, if no one can come to a consensus, I say we just toss him in a barge and float him somewhere else.
Wonderful, Sir Handel. Very subtle. All right, how about you, Peter Sam? Would you say guillotine or electric eels is your preferred method?
Oh, I mean, in that case, I think like maybe a big shark with those really large teeth.
None of these plans sound like they will work. They're either too ridiculous or not effective enough to get through to him.
We should have just gone with my plan from the start. I mean, I've had the most experience in terms of troublemakers here. I know it's been a while since I've been in this saddle, but I'm confident with a little discipline.
That's only because you fell off.
Not now, Duncan.
Any kid so inconsiderate to disregard my advice can't be surprised when they burn all the bridges they have. I do my best to protect them from themselves, but by back-talking me like one of them, are you really doing yourself any favors, Duncan?
Oh, I didn't mean me, laddie. I meant Smudger.
The worst possible example you could have come up with. Can we stop wasting time? All in favor of leaving our traitorous friend out of mature discussions clearly misunderstood due to his blinding lack of social and intellectual awareness, say aye.
All right. Calm down. Don't have a cow, man. Sheesh. Some people, I'm telling you.
If there had ever been a situation in which I had critically erred, I trust I would have been informed by now, as currently I have seen no one question what I assume to be our obvious shared opinion of how to approach this engine. And if anyone had something to say to me, they would say it to my...
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just talking about business.
Business?
Railway business. You know how it is.
Hey guys, you know what it's not doing right now? You might know the answer to this one. Raining. Anyway, just thought you'd all like to have a little weather update.
Guys, you'll never guess what I saw at the quarry.
What? Percy?
Underneath the rock, I think I saw the remains of an engine. A battered, broken, purple engine.
Purple? That sounds like a Cody Fell engine, doesn't it, Scarloey?
Yes, it does. Doesn't it?
Yes.
Then you must have seen the remains of that certain lost Goldie Fell engine. What was his name again, Scarloey?
His name was Godred. He worked on a little rack railway up in the highest hills of our island, which you already know by now as the Culdee Fell. Culdee Fell is the name of the mountain, and the railway was named after it. There were 8 engines who worked there. Culdee, Ernest, Wilfred, Patrick, Alaric, Eric, Shane Dewey, and Godred. Godred was number 1, and named after an ancient Sudrian king. This must have gone to his smoke box, because when he first arrived, he was as reckless as...
As Duncan?
Okay, I'm right here, you know.
Shh, he's telling a story.
Anyway, Culdee Fell runs on a system quite different than most regular railways. It takes passengers up to the summit of the mountain and back down again to the station. To do so, the engines have pinion wheels fitted to their driving axles. The wheels have teeth which fit into regulated grooves on the rails known as a rack. That way, the engines can't slip, no matter how steep the line they're climbing is. Coming back down, however, can be another story. Usually it's no problem, because the engines have automatic brakes, and if applied at the right time, work perfectly in slowing the engine down enough to make the bend near the middle of the mountain. After you've done it for a while, you get used to it, I'm told. You just glide down the hill with ease. However, Godred got so used to it that he didn't pay attention as much as he should. He rolled down the hill looking everywhere but the track. Our friend Culdee warned him. "You'll have an accident one day if you're not careful." "Pa, I've got automatic brakes, haven't I? And Driver's got his air brake. Nothing to worry about. What more could you want? More common sense from you. No engine can stop that fast if he isn't ready to follow his driver's commands. Be careful out there." Godred still didn't learn. His driver and fireman and the manager all spoke to him, and even the inspector came by to check if anything was wrong. But Godred still carried on in his way. One day, it was a busy day on the railway and extra trains had to be run. Caldy stopped at a station near the bottom to let Godred pass. He was descended from the top station, careless as ever. As he made the turn, it happened. 1 second he was on the rails, the next he had toppled over the edge, leaving his coach behind as he tumbled down the mountain. Luckily, no one was hurt, but Godred sat at the bottom of the hill in an undistinguished mess. The next day, they brought him back to the shed. "We've no money to mend you, so you'll have to stay at the back of the shed until we find something else to do with you." As time went on, the railway flourished, but Godred stayed at the back of the shed and got smaller and smaller until nothing was left.
What? What kind of an ending is that?
Well, it's not a very pleasant tale.
Legend has it that Godred was used as parts to help repair the other engines.
Very fitting.
Well, that doesn't really check out then, does it? If Godred was cannibalized, then how could he have been what Percy saw earlier?
Well, actually...
What Percy must have seen must have been Godred's ghost.
Ooh!
You see, Ivo, that's what can happen if you are careless and don't pay attention to what you're doing.
Huh. What a convincing story. Yeah, no, you can't scare me with that, as much as you'd like to, I'm sure, but come on. Ghost engine, my buffer. You group never get old. Oh, wait. That's because you all already are. I'm old, so I can say anything I want to and invalidate all the people around me because I'm just so old.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but, I consider myself to be in the prime of my life.
Looks like I missed a lot.
Hello, Rusty.
Hello yourself. Looks like that approach didn't work.
No.
Really thought it would, but he saw the holes in it right away.
What do you mean?
It's not a real story. Caldy came up with that story up on the spot years ago.
What?
And it seemed to work on you so far.
Well, that's not the full story, but it was meant to teach you two a lesson about your behavior. We figured it would work on Ivo as well, but now that it didn't, I doubt it'll keep anyone up at night now.
You still awake, Percy?
Oh, yeah, I guess so, D261. Can't sleep.
That's too bad. Try counting sheep, maybe.
Sheep? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, wait, was that 4? D261. Did you remember? Oh. So, 4?
Relax, Bon Bon. It's only me. What are you still doing up?
I could ask you the same thing.
I'm just doing extra work for the Fat Hat. Want to make sure my special job for the carnival tomorrow stays secured.
You're taking the children tomorrow?
Yep. I told you. That'll be a fine sight for you to see there, Percy. And a great lesson at that. Work hard and you will prosper. Work hard and you will prosper. Now, isn't that right, Percy? Percy? Percy?
I'm sorry, James. I just can't stop thinking of what I saw today at the quarry. I saw the remains of something peeking out from the cliffside. I think it was the ghost of an engine.
Oh, Percy, where do you come up with these ideas? It's always in some remote location. Desert, quarry too. First gnomes, now a ghost. The loose dust must have clattered your smoke box. What's next? Dinosaurs?
Oh dear.
Oh, where is Percy? I'm already late.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Yes, ma'am, I know the train isn't moving. We're doing our best to fix the issue. Well then, James, what's this all about? My phone's been ringing off the hook for the past hour. Why hasn't the train left?
I'm sorry, sir. Percy hasn't arrived yet. He was supposed to fetch my coaches ages ago.
Well, in a situation like this, it's important to take responsibility for your own train. Once you noticed Percy hadn't arrived, you should have fetched your own coaches. Now I'll have to deal with dozens of angry passengers due to your stubbornness.
But, sir, tender engines aren't meant to shunt. It's Percy's job, and he should be responsible for it,
I understand that, James, but Percy is not responsible for you. I don't know where that engine could have gotten to, but I am aware I have an equally able-bodied engine right here. I'm going to get to the bottom of where Percy is, but in the meantime, James, perhaps you can take it upon yourself to collect your own coaches this time. No buts, James. Excuses won't cover the customer service nightmare this has become. Now, I'm off to find an equally silly little engine. To speak of the devil.
I'm sorry, I'm letting her hear the coaches.
Percy, finally!
No time to talk now, James. You need to leave. Now!
Yes, I wasn't talking anyway. Yeah, no, I'm off now.
Ahem.
James? You still have to wait to be coupled to the train.
Yeah.
Ivo, my dear engine. I'm glad I caught you.
Oh, it's you. What do you want? I thought you got enough screen time for one day.
Oh, nothing. My, friend just wanted to congratulate you on your splendid work recently. You know, we really need more little workers of your competence to run this railway. Your speed, strength, and efficiency is just what this railway has needed.
Really? I thought you were against me. What with all that, handling ruffians stuff? I just assumed I was one of the ruffians.
Well, your methods are, unique. Your results have turned me around to your cause. You probably could be the strongest engine in the world if you wanted to.
Oh, well, thanks, I guess. Glad I'm turning out better than you had hoped?
Not a problem, Ivo. Well, I must be off. Mustn't miss my inspection today at the wharf. Want to prove to the inspector that I'm as tip-top as I used to be.
Well, he's cracked. Huh.
Let the trials begin, eh?
Yeah, by all means.
All right, fellows, it's time to shine. This inspector is here to make sure you're all running up to speed. First will be the internal inspection, then later we'll have some shunting tests, okay?
Got it. Understood.
Good. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Cooper. He'll be overseeing the test today.
Hello.
Hello.
Now the fun stuff, eh, Ivo?
Yeah, fun. You know it.
Hey, maybe this'll be your big break.
Huh, I never thought about that.
Here, let me give you a little veteran's tip. When it's your turn to try the shunting, charge the trucks as hard as normal, but flourish by switching tracks, allowing you to go one way, and the trucks to go the other at the last moment on that junction over there. It's right in front of the inspector. If he sees up close how well you handled such a complicated move, he's sure to see how talented you really are.
You think that'll work? Like, you think that'll look good and all, right?
Absolutely.
Well, sure, I'll try it. Shouldn't be too hard.
That's the spirit.
Hey, thanks, Duke.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Ivo.
Oh, man.
All right, it's time.
Are you sure about this?
Of course I'm sure. Don't you remember? I told you that for the inspector to be able to inspect the barge loading system, that switch has to be set facing the harbor.
This seems dangerous and bizarre.
Don't be daft. He's much too dignified to walk.
Second guessing every single choice.
It's too bad it had to resort to this.
What was that? Oh, he must be off getting some water, a drink. I'm sure he'll be back in no time.
No, not that far. If you switch the points that harshly, he'll have an accident. Just, leave it in the middle.
That doesn't really conform to any known factions of logic I possess, but if you say so.
Perfect.
Wait! What about the free ice cream you promised?
What the?
Ivo, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. Huh. Faulty switch, I guess.
Sorry, old boy. You'll just have to wait there for a while.
That's okay. I wasn't planning on moving anyway.
Sorry about that switch, Ivo. It's too bad you didn't get the chance to show the inspector what you were made of.
It's alright. I mean, there's always next time. Well, you know what?
I can't believe it. He's more cheery than ever.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Rheneas. My plan didn't work. You'll have to think of something else for Ivo.
What are you talking about?
That was no accident. I switched the points.
What? That was your plan?
Figured it would teach him a lesson. It didn't. But with youngsters these days, who's surprised?
I certainly am. And you, Duke. Imagine how devastated Ivo's gonna be if he finds out you betrayed him like that.
How could you do that?
Duke, there's no doubt there was a problem, but that wasn't the way to solve it. Not to mention the fact that if he finds out you caused this, it's only going to prove exactly every misconception he has about us.
He needed a push. Something to show him how dangerous his behavior could be. It's not my fault he didn't respond appropriately.
What?
Uh-oh. Oh, nothing, my dear Ivo. We were just wondering what could have possibly happened with that switch earlier. You were doing so well at the beginning of your run, too. How disappointing.
You can cut that out. I heard you. Just because I have aspirations above this stupid little railway and I can see what you're doing here means I'm the villain that needs to be put in his place. Is that right?
Ivo, Hugh, it's just that.
I've had enough of all of you. My expectations were low, but holy crap, how could you do something like this? I mean, you're more the villain than I am. I'm just...
no, it's not all
I
of
can't
us.
believe this. I wasn't disappointed by the accident. At all, really, because I thought I had finally had everything I wanted. Now I know who to blame for ruining my chances of actually getting that.
Now look what you did.
Just further proof of how dangerous that engine can be. Did you see how he lashed out at us? Trust me, things aren't going to get any better.
Not with that attitude from you, they're not. It's clear the disciplinarian method doesn't work on Ivo.
It worked on Duncan.
It didn't work on Duncan.
I can see that by watching him. Do you want that to happen again?
No, I don't, Duke. But I've been talking to him about what happened with him all those years ago, and I can tell he's trying to make a change.
You what? You talked to him?
What?
Not all youngsters are the same, Duke.
That's precisely the problem.
This infighting won't help anything. We have to work together to communicate what the problem is to him, or we're never going to get anywhere to help him actually understand where he's going wrong. I think both Skarloey and I can attest to that. Isn't that right, Skarloey?
Rusty's right, Duke. Slow and gentle may be the way for this one. You're dealing with someone more sensitive than you know. In Ivo's case, it's quite possible events like this will make him even more rambunctious and aggressive than before as a way of lashing out at us. Trust me, I know. Or rather, I know someone who does.
Who, pray tell?
I'm not sure I should.
Do go on, Skarloey. It's best to tell everyone now.
Caldy, there's more to his story than you, or frankly anyone else knows. His situation was very similar to yours, Duke. Maybe even more similar to a situation you've already been through.
What are you talking about? How dare you think you can just presume who I am and what I've been through?
It's not that. It's, well, I don't know if it's right to mention it myself. I assume it's something he's kept to himself for a long time.
Then why even bring it up?
Because it's something you need to be aware of, so that the same thing doesn't happen to Ivo Hugh.
Wait, you mean like what happened with Stan?
What same thing? This is ridiculous. I'm going back to the yard. I doubt any of them know what they're talking about. If Ivo won't behave, then we'll have to make him. Simple as that.
Are you sure it's that simple?
Culdy, what are you doing here?
A small accident on my railway. Cliff erosion. I'm here to be fixed up. But that's not important. Why are you here?
Well, just shunting a train.
Is that really why you're here, or is there something else?
No, I'm positive I came here for the delivery.
Well, it must have been fate. Seems to me you were meant to come here.
Ah, why is that?
This is the works, isn't it? This is where engines come when they've got problems. In my case, it's my broken gears. In yours, it seems like you've got a communication problem.
I guess you could say that. It's the new engine, Ivo. He's young and strong. Maybe even too strong. He keeps causing accidents due to his recklessness. He wants to get out and see the world. I guess become the strongest engine in the world. Of course, you understand. I tried to steer him in the right direction, but nothing helped. But now, on top of that, the others have all turned against me. They say I'm being too harsh with the young'un. But if you don't show these types they're wrong, they'll go on as if nothing needs to change. I've given that kid every learning opportunity I could, and he still hasn't grasped it.
That certainly is a conundrum. I guess it boils down to this. As much as you'd like to, you don't know what's best for everyone. What works for you might not work for everyone.
But my way has always worked.
Has it? Godred was a lot like Ivo Hugh, you know. He always liked to race around, without a care for anything or anyone. He took advantage of his automatic brakes to show off, more and more often as the days went by. I suppose because he was named after a king, he felt it necessary to continually prove his worth to not only his owners, but the passengers too. Now, of course, this wasn't something I approved of, and I told him. But of course he didn't listen. So I tried other methods. The manager had spoken to him before, but I insisted he needed a full inspection. So they took him apart to figure it out. Of course it wasn't internal, it was his reckless decisions that caused the problems. Eventually I snapped. Godred, no one is impressed with your shenanigans. You're only causing trouble. You're a decent worker at best, and your constant rough riding isn't helping your standing with the managers. You never listen to my advice, and you never change your behavior. You're irreparable. Ah, well then. We'll see if you change your mind. So, he took it upon himself to impress me. He was sure that he could do it, to prove to me that his showing off was more than just that he was the best engine on the railway. But, as you know, his brakes failed. There was nothing I could do. What you don't know is, he never made it back. He certainly wasn't cannibalized for parts. There was nothing to cannibalize. I made that part up. But I wasn't proud of it. I mean, there was some part of me that somehow, some way felt guilty. If you can imagine feeling guilty about something that unpredictable, I mean, that it was my fault that he lost control. My fault I couldn't do more to save him. I still feel bad about it. To this day, I never saw him again. Never got closure. I don't know if he's at the base of that mountain or at the bottom of the ocean. But I still wonder about it. Wonder if I could have stopped him. Stopped myself. Could have prevented it. So, I can't help but wonder if the way you're approaching this whole Ivo Hugh thing might not be the right way. Godred certainly didn't take it very well.
I see your point.
Look, no one's saying you aren't right in your criticisms, but you're treading a very thin line, one that is looking more and more likely to fray with every bridge that is burnt down between the two of you. Bridges take two sides, you know. You build your half, he builds his. Sometimes both sides have to be torn apart. so that they can be rebuilt on a stronger, more lasting foundation.
And how do I do that without him even attempting to build his side?
Have you ever given him the chance? Perhaps he's left you a blueprint that you can't read just yet. Seems easy now to say you want to just clear out the wreckage and start anew, but there's some boards you may find rotting in your own foundation that you need to remove fully first. Sometimes they're pretty dirty. The truth can be like that. Continually lashing out at him and beating the dead horse of belittlement every time he opens up about himself without explaining why you're doing so isn't the way to get him on the track to improvement. He'll just reset and repeat the cycle, growing numb to your tactics and becoming less and less likely to ever actually listen to anything you say. Maybe you need to let him teach you how to help him. It's your choice.
I'll do what I can, Kuldee. I hope to talk to you later.
Take care, my friend. And no problem. I'll be here all month.
I'm so sorry I'm late, sir. I'm here to take the children now. Where are they?
I'm sorry, James. They've already left. The mishap with Percy and the coaches this morning has left you way behind schedule, so I figured you would understand if I gave the job to someone else.
What? What? I won that job. I've been waiting all week for it. You can't just take it from me like a stealing candy from a baby. I don't even know what that is.
Well, the children waited too long, James. Heaven knows they've waited all year for this carnival to come to the island again already. I didn't think you would mind if I gave the job to D261, since he was the only engine available.
D261? You can't do this to me. Do you know what I sacrificed?
He's grown very good at keeping up to time. That way, children can get as much enjoyment out of the fair as possible.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I understand, sir.
I'm sorry, James. Maybe you can take them next year.
Yes, sir.
How did the test go today, James?
Fine, just peachy.
What's wrong?
Another failure.
Oh, James, I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's good, just another day. They replaced my brakes, but who knows how long those will last. But with everything else failing.
James, not everything has failed, has it? You're not a failure.
Nah, I am. At least compared to you. Why do I like you so much anyway? You're just a regular run-of-the-mill mixed traffic engine. Nothing special there. And red too. What a silly colour. I'm your improvement. You'd think I'd get a little more time in the limelight, no? But no. Just you, again and again. It's getting style.
James, how could you say that?
I don't know, because it's true or something. I'm sorry if you feel you deserved it at all, Julian, that's fine. But it just doesn't seem fair to me. I'm doing the same work as you.
Well, that doesn't exactly sound fair either. Listen, James. I've tried to help you. Tried to reassure you through all your tests. There's only so much I can do. I can control if they choose to take me out or not.
You can't?
No, of course not. And even if I could help you, I don't really know if I would want to after what you just said. I'm sorry about the tests, but the only person you can blame for how you're viewed is yourself, not me. Perhaps they don't choose you as often because of your attitude about this.
What? No, I don't...
You just can't blame your experiences on those around you. Deflecting the hurt you feel back on other people just because you're not getting the attention you want is not going to help you get it any faster. You can't spend your whole life pinning your misfortunes on others, just as you shouldn't let a desire to be them become your sole motivation.
My whole life, Julie, we're big heavy locomotives, mate. We're not going anywhere soon.
James, you know, in a play, if someone forgets their lines, they can't blame the other performer for learning theirs.
Oh, that's theatre again. Plays. More reminders of what you've earned seeing. Rub it in more, why don't you? Can't you get it that just because all you've had is sunshine and rainbows, that maybe some of us just don't get that luxury?
You act like all I've... No, James, I wasn't
No, of course you weren't. You know what I think? The world's not a stage, it's a machine. We're all just cogs in it. Just serving some purpose for life just to keep on rolling. Mine is clearly to be the forever unfairly overlooked and inferior one.
If that's what you say, then you are. Good night.
Stupid bowler. What right does he have to come round here and take all our jobs anyway? I bet Gordon and Henry miss being the only ones pulling the express. It's not fair.
Quite right, dear fellow. It's simply ghastly. Wouldn't you say, Bill?
Yeah, ghastly.
He's not here, is he?
Seems to us you need to reclaim what's yours. Diesels have no right barging in where they don't belong. A diesel did that to us once, tried to take our trucks he did, but we wouldn't let him. We stood our ground. Isn't that right, Bill?
Yeah, we did that.
You have every right to be upset, James. What with an engine of your honour being replaced by a, I hate to say it, diesel.
Well, no kidding, but... no, I can't do anything about it now.
Sure you can. You can take these cars to Vickerstown.
Okay, why am I delivering fish tanks?
Why are you at the docks?
I wasn't doing anything tonight, you know. I just wanted to talk to Edward.
Now you are. I thought you wanted to beat this diesel.
And how will this help me do that?
Simple. You just deliver it where it needs to go.
Okay, I'll bite. What's the catch?
No catch. But if you squint really hard, you'll notice that the label on the side says fragile.
Or maybe it's fragile.
That means it's very important. It's just a simple job, but if you want to regain Sir Fatty's trust again, then this is what you're going to have to do. Bit by bit, job by job. Nothing's going to change unless you do something.
If you say so.
Well, what are you waiting for? Off you go, come on then.
Alright, I'm going. Sheesh.
I will be king, and you will be queen. Though nothing will drive us away, how we can be heroes. Just for one day, how we can be us, just for one day.
It's gonna...
Whoa! I can remember. Standing by the wall.
Hello down there! Hi!
Shadow of our heads. Woohoo! And we kiss the
Ah! Oh, shut up. You don't think I have enough to deal with already without your complaining? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
It's okay, Ivo, but I think there's something you should know.
What is it? James! He'll know how to help in a situation like this.
Oh, botheration.
Hello, James. What are you doing so far out here today?
Can't you see? I'm taking a very important train to Vickerstown.
But, James, the label on these cars says they're meant to go to Allsburg. That's on the opposite side of the island.
What?
No, yeah, these are definitely for Allsburg. I'll ring ahead to let them know you'll be late.
Oh, okay, alright. No, I get what you mean. No, it's okay. It's fine. Those little devils tricked me. Oh, this is the last straw.
Hey, James. I was wondering if you had any advice about a little dilemma I had. It's with this guy, and he's, like, really overbearing.
Hey, you want some real advice? Don't listen to me, because I clearly don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't know who I'm dealing with specifically. His name is Duke, and he's like...
Duke? No, everyone knows him. He's the hero of the railway or something. Whatever you're dealing with him, you've got to be mistaken. And plus, if by some freak chance of nature he did tell you not to believe your dreams, he'd be right. Yeah, you can go out into the world and find your place in it, but it won't last. Sooner or later, someone else will show up to replace you. It's happened before, and it'll continue to happen.
What? But...
Yeah, you can try and resist all you want, but in the end, what does that get you but more suffering? I'll just ignore you, throw stupid tasks at you like this, remind us that all you are is a part of the machine. Wherever you go is like this. No one listens anyway.
I'm listening, James, but I think you're being a little...
You wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to help. Friends help each other, you know? It's like you said, we're a dying, passionate...
We are not the same.
But...
When you get older, you'll see. Some dilemmas have no solution. They're just a part of life. You learn to let them happen, let them roll over you. Come to think of it, aren't you just trying to replace me with your cute little red paint job and your hotshot attitude? I'm flattered, kid. You gotta find someone to be your shtick besides just being a little me. I'm done with this. Ben may have tricked me, but he was right about one thing. If I don't do something about that diesel, nothing will change. I've had enough. A superintendent doesn't pick up on anything unless it's shoved in their face anyway. All these good deeds that thief's been doing have got to be a cover for something bigger. Something he doesn't want anyone to know. Yeah, too bad. Because I'm going to have to find out what that is. If that controller can deal with this squid himself, I have better plans.
Hello, Ivo.
What are you still doing sulking in the yard, Ivo? It's time to get the coaches ready for Peter Sam's last train.
Oh, yeah, alright.
Cheerio, off we go.
Hello, James. I'm sorry about before, but look, I got to take something to the carnival after all. You're back early. You must have been fast taking those children there already.
Actually, Percy, I didn't get to take the children. I'm sure you know why.
Oh no, it wasn't my making you late earlier, was it?
I'm afraid it was, Percy.
Oh, James, I'm so sorry. Is there any way I can make it up to you?
No, Percy, I don't think. Actually, Percy, you can help me a lot.
Oh my goodness. The last train always feels the heaviest.
Oh my god! No!
Come along, 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 come along.
Hey, anyone? Nope. Still no one. Okay. Yeah, there's nobody here. This is gonna be a long night. Okay, you know what? I take that back. Oh no. Please, not that! Maybe this is gonna be the shortest night of my life. Oh boy. Mr. Huey's gonna have a field day with this one. Oh God. There's a fire on the Skarloey. It's approaching Lakeside. Get help!